see.
Well, we can see us? Well, I gotta do the pop out. We have one person that found us. Okay.
Pop out. Let's see if we can get there. Hang on with us, guys. Hang on. We gotta let people get in the room
Wait,
here.
we're here. Alright. So.
Alright.
Maybe we can see it. We're gonna try out something new.
Got a new internet system here. We're in the office, and we thought we would just try to go live and see, check the latency and what kind of a lag time we have and all that, just to see what.
That's a cute picture. We're tired.
Yeah, we're just tired. This is kind of a spur of the moment thing.
So maybe talking about the picture on the thumbnail.
Yeah.
That is a cute picture. Mr. Dale.
Yeah, Mr. Dale did that.
I don't remember his last name. Do you? No. Mr. Dale.
Mr. Dale's all I know him.
Okay. So it's Danny and Wanda from Pecan Grove, and we just thought we would test out this internet here at the office, see what's going on, and see how things work. And so far, I mean, y'all tell us.
Y'all tell us. I mean,
is it better so far? Not as good? Whatever. I see a lot of people finding us.
Yeah.
That is a blessing.
That's a blessing. Yeah, it's really a blessing here.
So.
We are just, we're, like I said, we're in the office just trying to see if everything's going to work here with this other internet system. This is not the one we use at the camp house. This is a different internet system, and I did not know how it would work. This is supposed to be super high speed.
We'll see.
They said looks good, sounds great.
I'm trying to find something. So
okay.
You can be telling what you've been doing today.
Oh, today. What have I been doing today? I was so disheartened today, guys. I went out.
I wasn't out there.
Yeah, I went out to the prepper shack, and I opened the door, and there was this horrid smell in there. I was like, what in the world is in my prepper shack? And I looked and looked and looked, and under the counter I had all my sweet potatoes stored underneath there for making slips. And those things, evidently the prepper shack on the inside froze during the really hard freeze, and the sweet potatoes had turned to mush and was running all over the floors everywhere. And I was just like, oh my word. I picked the basket up with them, and they were just dripping. I took them outside and threw them on the ground, and I've been in there for the last 30 minutes with paper towels and stuff trying to clean up mushed up sweet potato off the floor. So.
Alright, Vicky said, I paid to get a package shipped to you in 2 days. I just checked and it's still in transit after 2 weeks. I was going to message you about that because we did get a package, but I didn't think it was from you. It didn't have anybody's name on it, but somebody else had messaged and said they were sending something, and I couldn't remember the person's name, so I had to go run back through a bunch of emails, like 500 of them, to find out who it was.
Yeah.
But whoever it was, thank you for the maple syrup, and it was some
pawpaw seeds.
Pawpaw seeds. So Danny's planted them off down in the swamp to kind of see. He thought they needed some water.
Yeah.
Yes, this shirt is one of my favorite shirts. So we do have a few sweet potatoes already in the ground in our 60-foot raised bed.
Yeah, if it had not been for the fact that we had already put some in the dirt, we probably would have lost most of them, because I think out of everything, I got an assortment of, I have a couple of white ones and a couple of the purple ones, a couple of the good, we call them Georgia Jets. I had a couple of Georgia Jets left, a couple of Beauregards left. I never expected that to happen.
Not for that building to get that cold.
No, as insulated as that building is,
it's open underneath.
I guess, the fact that the floor is not insulated, but the rest of it is insulated. If I'd have had it covered around the bottom, might not would have happened.
All right, Vicky, was it from you if it had seeds?
He said, I guarantee you will recognize it because it has seeds and a sweetener.
All right, if it had if it was the
if it was pawpaw seeds and maple syrup, then that was it.
Then it was yours. It got here yesterday. Wasn't it yesterday? Yeah.
Yes.
Because it didn't have a name on it, just had our address, and so I wasn't 100% sure. And I knew you said you were sending pawpaw seeds, but I also knew somebody else said something about sending something, and I thought he said pawpaw seeds. He said some kind of seeds. No, what? There was another one. I don't know. I got them confused. So if you sent maple syrup, then thank you. It got here yesterday.
Darlene says, are you all planting anything yet? Yes, we had a video. Monday we planted English peas out in the field and in the high tunnel. We have carrots up and they're growing good. We have potatoes that's just breaking the ground good. As a matter of fact, I just got through cutting up 10 pounds of them to let them cure to go in the ground next week.
Elizabeth says, regards from conservative, rural, far north California.
Oh.
So,
good evening, 3B Homestead.
Marjorie wants to know what will be good in a 5-gallon bucket.
You can grow just about anything in 5-gallon buckets. You can grow onions in 5-gallon buckets. You can grow cabbages, cauliflower, carrots. I tell you what, if you want a good channel, they're friends of ours down there in Florida. Mr. Hollis and Ms. Nancy. Hollis and Nancy have a fantastic YouTube channel. They grow a lot of stuff in 5-gallon buckets in the heat in Florida.
Mm-hmm.
So they do a fantastic job. Hollis and Nancy, we've known them for, oh my goodness, probably
8 years or better.
Better than 8 years, yeah. Before they actually moved away.
All right, somebody said they got some seeds some flower seeds. We got this in. It's from Survival Garden Seed, 36 Functional Flower Garden Kit. I think they have this on their site, but they sent me one. It's 36 heirloom seed packets, all kinds of seeds, and we're going to give some away during the live stream, and we'll pick some of you. But where are we at here? Blanket flower. I'm just going to show you a few. 4 o'clock.
Oh, East Texas Living says, we are packing the house to leave Houston for our homestead finally. Prayers, please. Amen. Yeah. I am glad to hear that.
And black-eyed Susans. All right, y'all, out of all this, amaranth, phlox, blue phlox, calendula, columbine, echinacea, cosmos, daisies, forget-me-nots, primrose. What else we got? Lavender, mallow, marigolds, milkweed, I can't say that. How do you say it? Nastrums?
Yeah.
Pansies, poppies, sunflowers, sweet pea, bluebonnets, and yarrow. It's endless. Any kind of flowers you want.
Okay. Everybody says you're sitting on the wrong side. Seems weird.
You ain't get my chair.
Oh, that's what I say. Wanda's sitting in her office chair right now. I'm having to sit in a plain old, I'm just sitting in an old kitchen table chair here.
Mine's more comfy.
Yeah, Wanda's is real comfortable. East Texas Living said they've been prepping and saving for 4 years. Jeff Jackson said, Danny, I do well with the raised beds, but buckets don't work for me. The thing about buckets is you got to come up about 4 inches from the bottom of the bucket on the sides of it and drill about 5 1/4-inch holes around that bucket, and you got to put some really good soil in the bottom of it that stays kind of damp and wet. Now I put a lot of sand in mine, I put rocks, I just put all kind of stuff in the bottom of them, and something that stays wet and moist so that the seeds always have something to grow down into.
Okay, so on these from Survival Garden Seed.
Vicky said, yes, I included maple syrup.
Okay, so we got that.
We got that one then, Vicky.
I didn't think it was from you because I wasn't expecting maple syrup, but it is awesome, so thank you. Well, I hadn't tried it yet. I will tomorrow.
Yeah.
Um,
There's another person that says we were sitting on opposite sides. Because we're in the office.
you want me to move your chair over here? You're
No.
not getting my chair.
No, you're on. Yours is on rollers. You used to stay where you're at.
I just stay where I'm at.
Yeah.
What can I add to the spadam? Oh, for the bacon flavor. They're deer bacon. We added pork, and then we added
We did
the
50. We did 50-50.
deer and pork.
Deer and pork on the deer bacon, and
when you cook it, if you have some bacon grease already, or even just lard, fried in the lard or bacon grease a little bit, that helps with the flavor. And that really gives.
well, I mean, if you salt it like it needs to be when you're just like making bacon, and you put salt and sugar in it when you're curing bacon, it turns out just like bacon.
Yeah. I grow everything in buckets, barrels, and containers. That's Hannah's helping hands.
You have to talk with it.
Okay.
Let's see here.
Crawfish cigarette says Pecan Grove. Let's go.
Yeah. We just thought maybe, we didn't have nothing to do because look, it rained this afternoon, guys. There was no mention of rain, and then all of a sudden we're in town to go and picking up some pot and soil, some different things, and it come a gully washer at Pecan Grove when we got back. Now we had a half an inch of rain in less than, I don't know, maybe 20 minutes.
Within an hour we got, the first 20 minutes, and then we got more rain, so
yeah, it's been
probably
raining.
at
Well,
least
it's been raining all afternoon,
Like-
since dinner.
2 to 3 hours.
Yeah.
What can I use to replace green sand?
Oh, I don't know because we don't ever really use anything like green sand or nothing like that. That's a different kind of gardening than what we do.
All right, somebody said they used our recipe for the deer bacon and it didn't come out bacony. It comes out more like a...
Well, there's two
Pressed.
things. Either you didn't put enough sugar in it or you
Yeah.
didn't put enough salt in it. Because ours did that, and we knew we needed to
a
add
touch of salt.
we need to add more salt in ours.
And when I fry it has that taste because we have pork in it with the deer. But it is a pressed meat. It's not going to be, I guess, bacon has its own
Yeah.
fat and
Bacon has a lot of its own fat in it.
and so it's not going to have that fat in it. That's what I'm trying to get at. I mean, it does, but it's all mixed in with
Yeah.
it. What are your thoughts on soil blocks?
Soil blocks are okay. Some people have the tool that actually makes the soil blocks. And Wanda and I have been talking about soil blocks and little peat cups and stuff like that a lot here lately. We're beginning to wonder if that's not why we're having trouble with some of our plants, is because we're putting like potting soil and peat moss, all that kind of stuff around the roots of the plant rather than the roots of the plant just being strictly in the soil. Because like I've told y'all, growing up, you got your tomato plants in bundles and you just stuck them in the ground and poured water in them and washed the dirt down in around them, and you just left them alone and they did really, really good. So I'm kind of wondering, is this new pot and soil stuff pulling something away from the plants? Because I noticed we pulled up some broccoli to feed the rabbits, and the roots on the broccoli plant was no bigger than like this right here.
It didn't grow and
It didn't grow and spread like roots normally should. It stayed right there in that little peat moss looking ball there, and it just kind of got me concerned about growing that way.
All right, do we have any calves on the way?
Yes, we have 3 calves on the way. Don't know what the dates
one of the
are.
first times we've never known exactly the
I
date.
think I wrote down all the breeding dates, but I've
didn't count
I
up.
counted. I haven't counted the days up to
Yeah.
see when they are.
We know it's soon. Probably.
Hello, Mr. Donnie. I know we didn't tell anybody we were jumping on, but we did.
Yeah. Now Patricia says she's thinking of using her SCOBY from her kombucha to help fertilize her tomato plants. Have you done this in the past? We have not, but years ago I made kombucha probably 25 years ago. It is very, very healthy, and yes, you can use it as fertilizer for plants. It does work.
Oh boy, there it jumped.
All right, so.
Let's see here. Nadia says, I'm already having white flies in my garden. Nadia, when it starts warming up to the 80 degrees like it's been, or 80 plus, that it's been this week, the white flies they just come out from everywhere. I don't know that there's actually any getting rid of them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We had them even, November?
Yes.
In November, I think we had them started in the high tunnel, and I took the plant that they were on and just took it out. I'm like, I'm not fighting them. It's gotta go.
Let's see here. So I might have to put my glasses on. I'm sitting here.
Double A, good evening.
Yeah, let's see here.
We are
ABCXYZ says, only thing white in my garden is snow.
We are planning on planting about an acre this weekend. That's James. I will not be able to start prepping until June or July after I get moved. That's Gaines girl. Terminator made it.
All right.
Miss Starler. Jen. Let's see, where we at?
Let's see there. A lot of people, I guess, just now figuring out we're on.
What do you suggest using instead of black cow manure?
We've been using Bacto mixed with Schultz potting soil as our two mixtures, along with our soil out of the trash piles that we push up.
You know what I forgot?
What's that?
My ginger is still in the refrigerator. I bought it like 3 months ago from Azure Standard, the plant, and I just now remembered. I put it in the fridge, and I said I'm gonna plant this tomorrow. It's still in the fridge.
Well, it shouldn't be hurt.
It should be okay, but we got to plant that.
It'll be like it went through stratification.
Yeah, I knew that, but I didn't intend to leave it that long. What type of spinach do you recommend? I got some spinach I want to plant.
Well, if you're in the deep south, Malabar is always good, but
I've got a pack, those seeds I showed you. I think you said
what's the spinach we have? Bloomsdale? I want to call it Bloomsdale.
That don't sound familiar.
I think that's.
I found a pack, and I was going to plant some. Do you miss all your old cows? My daughter has 3 of them, and
4 of them. Oh, she got 3 of them. They had 3 of them. Yeah.
A guy across
the town got Miss Dolly.
Miss Dolly.
And we still have Miss Candy.
Yeah, we kept Candy. She's special.
And actually, Candy, Shushan, and Hadassah can all be milked. If we need to milk them, any one of them can be milked. Now, Miss Candy's a little more sensitive to trying to be milked, but Shushan and Hadassah, you can walk right out there in the field with them and milk them. I mean, they as long as they got feed to eat, they'll just stand right there.
Yeah. So, what do you think of the maple candy? I ate a piece earlier.
She was going to put it in her coffee because she's been drinking her coffee black. She was going to try to start putting it in her coffee.
I did put some in coffee one day, but I'd rather just eat the candy.
Yeah.
I like the candy better.
Rebecca says she got turmeric from Azure to plant.
I need to get some turmeric. I think I had lost both my ginger and turmeric a couple of years ago. And
thank you, 3B Homestead.
So now we're having to start over.
Deborah says best way to take care of blueberry bushes about 6 feet tall. We don't worry about them when they're like 6 feet tall because when they load up with berries, they just kind of like bow over where you can get to the berries really easy. Now when they start getting about 8 foot tall, we start cutting the tops back in them.
There's our friend Active Agent. Hello, Lisa.
Hello, Miss Active Agent.
Are you still in California? Please tell me you're going to be moving somewhere besides. Now, she kind of likes California too. She's one of them California girls.
let's see here.
All
Was
our
it,
junior plants down in Slidell got ice and snow.
what does that say? Did say?
Linden say, I think.
Did say says, if you were in Iowa, what would you plant first or be doing right now? Well, if you're in Iowa, you may be getting sleet and snow and ice up there pretty soon. So I probably would be choosing what seeds I was going to plant. And you're probably, in Iowa, you're going to warm up earlier this year than you normally will, if I'm not mistaken. Now, if you're up around the Great Lakes region, all toward the northeast up in there, you're going to stay colder longer, and in the northwest, you're going to stay colder longer. But we've got a big ridge of heat that's going to be building in from the Gulf coming up into the center of the United States. So you might actually get to garden a little bit early this year. So I would think about my my tomato plants and stuff like that, getting them ready.
Marie said her husband found the Cherokee wax beans at Lowe's today. They are kind of hard to find, but we had friends that found some at a local, was it a hardware store or feed store? Where did they find seeds? They found a whole bunch of the yellow wax beans. Now, it didn't call them Cherokee.
They may not be the Cherokee ones,
but they are yellow wax beans, and they'll do the same. Might not be quite as sweet or something, but you'll enjoy them.
Starla says it was 71 today in the Texas Panhandle.
It was 80.
Oh, it was 82 here today.
Yeah.
The heat index was hotter than that.
And it rained, so it's
Tamara says 88 in Central Texas.
All right. Is it too late to prune my peach and apple trees to get fruit this year? That's Tracy.
No. It's not too late to prune. No. As a matter of fact, you can prune peaches. Sometimes it's actually better to prune peaches a little bit later in the summer than it is to do a lot of it in the wintertime, because it'll heal over a lot faster and won't leave any open wounds through the cold.
$5.69 a dozen for large eggs in Texas. I wasn't sure how expensive they were getting, but I'd heard a lot of people say they were getting close to $6 a dozen or better.
Not one more inch. I'll get it right where I can read it. Is wood ash good for fruit trees and blackberries? It's good for the fruit trees. I would not pile too much around the blackberries, because blackberries love a little bit more acidic type soil. Wood ash kind of neutralizes the soil a good bit, but yes, it is good for fruit trees.
Lisa said, no, I'm saving money to move to another state. California is not what it used to be.
Oh, I can tell you, luckily we've had a lot of friends who have moved out of California.
Yeah, we have some that stay.
We got some who stayed. They just said they're going to stay.
Different spots of California are different. So yeah, let us know if you find a good spot. We want to know where you go.
That's Rickwin96 says the ants are swarming in Georgia in this warm weather we are having, but it is supposed to get cold again, so they will die back again. No, they're not going to die back. They're just going to go deeper in the ground. That's the way ants are.
$9.99 for a cheap dozen in Northwest Oregon. Oh my goodness.
Well, guys, I got news for you. It's going to get a little bit worse. You can just count on that.
Wow. They're going up.
Wonder Knee 1 says, I got 24 eggs for $8.19 2 days ago at Costco. They were $3.99 2 weeks ago. So they have tripled. No, doubled. No. They've doubled.
Yeah, that's right.
$4 and $4, yeah.
They doubled.
They doubled.
All right. ABC says, stayed home because of the snow and ice today. Your being on makes it feel like Saturday. Oh, today was actually Thursday.
Today is Thursday. It was a pretty good day. We got up. I've been doing a little bit of moving from Deep South over here. I only got one load because, by the time you go over, you load up. Then you drive.
Unload.
Then you got to unload.
I got in on the unload.
Wanda got in on helping unload. I drove over there myself and loaded. And got over there, didn't take no water with me to drink. And I have a well, but I didn't have no cups. Everything was just, I had nothing to drink out of. So I was like wore out in this heat this morning. The humidity was 90-something%, hot as all get out. It was just, oh, it was horrible.
Yeah. What does my hat say? This is Danny's hat.
Actually, she's got my hat on. She's got my farmall hat on.
It's been one of those days where it's not a hair day. And so I told him, I said, let me grab a hat. And this one was close. And I said, okay, I just need a hat. $22 for 60 eggs. Woo.
My Cookie Little Homestead says, Danny, have you and Wanda tree mortgage lifter tomato and striped German tomato? I'm guessing that if they're asking have we planted those, and yes, the answer is yes. We've planted both of them.
We went to town for what, one thing?
Yeah,
potatoes.
We went to town because I called the feed store and they had their seed potatoes in. I told Wanda, I said, let's go to town and get the seed potatoes. And I have
the hardware store.
Well, I have an account at a hardware store and I get reward points. And they were going to go out tomorrow.
And we had $15 worth of reward.
Yeah, $15 worth of reward points. I told her, I said, look, we'll go in and pick up a couple little items, you know, so we can, you know. No. Okay. $200 later, we came out.
Well, they had just gotten their fruit trees in, like just gotten them in. And they had a golden plum and they had a deep red plum.
Santa Rosa.
And I have been trying forever to get plum trees to grow. So I said, we got to have the plums. And then walked over, they had mayhaws. Now at Deep South, we have our big mayhaw trees.
Right.
But leaving them there was just breaking my heart because I love my pepper mayhaw jelly. So that they had mayhaws. So we got 2 mayhaw trees.
2 mayhaw trees, 2 plum trees,
then
2 bags of backtoe.
I had to have tomatoes.
She saw tomato plants and she had to have tomato plants.
So I got 2 Parks Whopper. Danny said he used to grow these and they were big.
I used to grow them commercially, yeah.
So I wanted the Parks Whopper, so I got 2 of those, and they're going in the Vego self-watering tomato thing, and I've got 4 of them, so I got 2 will have Parks Whopper. The other 2 I planted the Blue Bounty tomato seeds in. They're not up yet, but I'm hoping. And Danny's planted his seeds today. You planted Primos.
Yeah, I planted my Primos tomato seeds inside the high tunnel, and I've got to go back and actually cover them because I didn't cover them. I just put them in there. We're in such a hurry.
We're going to have a video shortly, in a couple of days. We're going to have an update tomorrow on the English peas that we planted last week. And then the next day we'll probably have the tomato planting and all the stuff that's going on with that. But y'all, I'm ready. It was just hot, so it's time to plant.
Adele Gower says, hey Danny, she means Tamuk, it's T-A-M-U-K. Are the Tamuk rabbits good? Yes. They're one of the better breeds I've ever found. They're very low maintenance. I mean, very low maintenance.
Okay, so now Miss Gail says she said you say to amend beds now. She has beds on legs. She said, will it drain right through? It's not supposed to.
No, it's not supposed to, because if it did, you couldn't grow anything in it.
Yeah, we have one that is a wooden bed that's up on legs and grew some of the most fabulous plants this past year. Mr. D kept, what did he have in it? Peppers and eggplants. And he just finally had to, he's like, okay, I'm done. They just kept making. Yeah. It'll hold it. And we're going to be doing a Vego giveaway soon. So y'all be watching the videos. We'll announce that before long.
Yeah. Tambra asked, do you think the Vego self-watering beds are worth the money? Ours have done pretty fair, I have to say. They've done. I can't complain.
Now I'm going to try and take care of my plants a little better. When they were in the high tunnel, it's just walk by while we're in there. I'm putting those beds on my back porch now. So I will be paying more attention to them there, I hope. We'll see.
Okay, let's see here.
Now, I'm going to do 5 giveaways here in a few minutes before we get off, so remember.
My New Tennessee Home says, I'm I'm kind of nervous to start my seeds, yet I'm not so sure the weather has settled yet here in Tennessee. No, there is a section of the Carolinas and a little bit of Tennessee that's going to hang on to some really, really frigid weather longer than a lot of the area around it there. The Appalachians, there's a little section there in the Appalachian and northern and kind of western North Carolina that's going to hang on to some extremely cold weather.
Okay, Miss Gill has the one like we showed, the V-shape. Yeah, it'll hold, the way it's made it holds it down in the bottom.
Yeah.
And then your plants feed on what's in the bottom, so you don't have to worry. It should stay there.
Marjorie Beckwith says, got a question. What is the name of onions that grow big? Well, there's Marjorie, that depends on where you live at in the country. You have to buy onions based on whether they're short day, long day, or day neutral. They all grow big. It's just that you got to figure out which one is in your zone. And I recommend going over to Dixondale. And Dixondale will have a map that you can look at to tell whether or not your area needs a intermediate day, a short day, or a long day onion. And then they have several onions that you can choose from there.
All right. I put up some of the Danny corn, and I told my people on Patreon that it was there, and it's all gone. But before we live stream Saturday night on Deep South Homestead, I hope to be able to put some more Danny corn up. I'll announce it on the live stream, and then it might go up afterward. I don't know. We'll see.
Grandma Pepper 2022 says, I'm worried here in
South Carolina.
I know it's in South Carolina, but seems like we're having a false spring. Yes, it is a false spring. But if you're in South Carolina, you're going to warm up pretty quick. I'm just going to go ahead and tell you. There's going to be a little cool spell coming about mid-February, but after that, everybody down in the deep south down here is going to warm up.
Okay, so we are on Pecan Grove, right, guys?
Yeah.
Hills Mill said Deep South Homestead, and I'm like, okay, I'm making sure we're on Pecan Grove, even though we are Deep South Homestead at Pecan Grove on this channel. So I want to make sure I got my stream key.
I don't know about that now. I can't
Waymaker,
swear.
that is who you are. Yes, love the show. Let's see where we at.
Let's see here.
Okay.
Foxy Roxy says, I so want some Danny corn.
Okay.
Okay, Foxy Roxy.
By the weekend.
You need to
or send me an email.
Send us an email, and Ms. Wanda will see if she can't get you a pack. I don't know what the price is. She handles all that, so.
Send me an email at deepsouthhomestead@gmail.com. We do have a Pecan Grove ms.com, I think. No, at gmail.com. That's what it is.
Yeah.
And I try to think. I'm not used to having that Pecan Grove one, so if you send something there, I try to check it at least once or twice a week. But I always check the Deep South because I remember Deep South, and they think Deep South too. So
yeah.
we have to do that. Okay, so I'm gonna write down the 5 flowers. All right, I showed y'all flowers earlier. Do any of you remember any of them? The 5 that I showed and that you might would like to try. So pop up names of flowers. And
Randy Pitt says, Danny Starla has a question for you.
All right, let me see if I can find the stars. It goes popping.
It just jumps. Okay, hold right there. Danny, did I miss you answering my question about if Cherokee pumpkin seeds that Hoss sells from your strain of seeds? Yes. The seeds that Hoss Tools sells was from our strain of seeds. Now, what they've done with them since then, I have no clue.
The original ones.
But the original ones came from us.
Okay, I gotta stop it because, ooh. Let's see. I've got these right here. You tell me if you see any of these.
There's 2 of them right there off the bat, right there that we have.
That are right here?
Yep.
Which ones?
You, oh no, not those. Those are the
These
other ones
right
back
here.
there. I thought you had meant it was in all the packs you had.
No, I'm just looking
You got
for.
4 o'clock. Right there.
Old Farm Gal.
Old Farm Gal. Send Miss Wanda your information there.
And which one was the Snapdragons?
Yeah.
I'm having to write.
We're having to take this kind of slow because we don't have
Right.
our moderators here that knows what we've got going on.
Black-Eyed Susans, I just saw that one.
Right there.
Beverly Michael.
Beverly Michael, send us your information and we'll have you some Black-Eyed Susies. Just back them over to the side so we don't read.
This one and Snapdragons.
Okay, you're going to have to scroll it down.
It's actually Susan's.
Yeah.
These three.
Okay, just keep looking to see if you see those three.
The blanket flower, I just saw that. Jean Blair.
Yeah, Jean Blair, send us your information. And Miss Wanda will get you your blanket flower seeds from Survival Garden.
Okay.
And
two more.
2 more there. Let's look and see if we can find them. Let's see here. I'm looking through. I don't see them. Let's see. Don't see anything yet.
Danny's heart seems to be okay.
My heart seems to be doing really, really good.
There's 2 that we're missing.
Yeah, let's see.
Let's see how good their memory are. They're going to start paying attention to stuff.
Now you did show all the others that they're
I read
mentioning
the I only showed these. I read the names of a bunch of others.
Yeah. But anyway, we that's funny. This reminds me of when I had to go through going and talking to a psych one time about a situation that I was involved in. I had to go talk to a psychiatrist. It was so funny. I laughed at them more than they. I thought it was funny. There you go, right there.
Hollyhocks, Susan Speed.
Susan Speed, send us your information, and then James has got the next one, the 4 o'clock.
Just James?
Yep.
Okay.
Y'all send your information to Deep South. Where do you want to send it to?
Deepsouth Homestead.
DeepSouthHomestead@gmail.com.
Oh, you know what?
What's that?
They can run the video back and check it.
Well, I mean, that's what I was talking about. All you gotta do is run the video back. I knew that.
I wasn't going to tell them that till somebody got through.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty interesting.
All right, so.
Not Tennessee Homestead. I had to guess because I was late.
Tambra, send me an email at deepsouthhomestead@gmail.com about the Cherokee tans. I do have some that somebody sent me.
We do have some Cherokee tans, yes.
They said I could give those away too, so type in Cherokee tans, and that way I'll know. I have a few left.
Yeah.
Oh, we love our cauliflower. I'm gonna tell you what.
Oh.
I've got some in the fridge to cook.
Cauliflower. There is nothing like homegrown cauliflower. It is nothing like what you get out of a store. I promise you, it is nothing like it.
And actually, the cauliflower from Azure Standard, we have been very pleased with it too.
It comes closer than anything
I've
we've ever
had.
found.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's still not like homegrown, but it's close.
My wild lettuce seeds, I ordered them probably off Etsy at some point. I'll have to see if I still have some because I don't have any growing in that high tunnel anymore. And since we've moved, everything's kind of gotten
We're having
topsy-turvy. We're
having to start all over, guys. I mean, we're at 60-something years old in our life, starting a new homestead, rebuilding everything. I mean, it's such a challenge, because we don't have the energy that we used to have,
And y'all, this shirt came from Love in Faith. It's LOVEN, like just the letter N, and Faith. So you can find them on Facebook. You can type it in, loveandfaith.com, and they always run sales on t-shirts.
Ms. Vicky said she got some good news today from her nephrologist that said her CKD is stabilized. Usually it gets worse over time. That's good, Ms. Vicky. Look, one thing I always tell people, do not speak anything upon yourself. If someone looks at you and says, oh, you have this or you have that, I look at them and go, no, I don't. Even if the doctor says I have it, I say I don't have it. I tell the doctor, thank you for the information, but I do not have this, and I walk away, you know. I will not speak anything on myself or Wanda.
Somebody asked about the white okra seeds. Do we have any that...
I don't know.
You'll have to send me an email and let me look, and then
we'll just have to look and see. We have yet to go through our seed bank.
We never found our carrot seeds. I have looked and looked.
We have not found them. I had a whole quart bag full of them. I'm very disappointed that we have not found them. But
they're somewhere.
But we haven't been through our seed bank. Now we have a huge seed bank, and I have not been through them.
Yeah, our notifications get turned off all the time. I mean, it's just one of those things. Now I do have the Corota carrots. We bought a whole pound. That's what we planted, wasn't it?
Oh yes.
They're up. They're
yes.
Beautiful. So we have in the 60-foot raised bed, we have one whole 10-foot section of carrots.
Bama Forgiven says, anyone know how to get rid of ladybugs inside your home? Now be sure, look, be sure they're ladybugs, because there is a beetle, a Japanese beetle that looks just like ladybugs, except its coloring and patterns are a little bit different, and they are not ladybugs, but they will actually infest a home.
Yeah, be very careful what kind of bug.
Yeah.
Catch you some and do a lot
do your
of
homework
research
on it. Make sure. Marjorie Beckwith says, yes, don't claim it. I agree. Do not claim it.
Greg says they were, George Scott says they're starting over in their 60s. East Texas living 56, 59 starting new. Yes, I have grown Swiss chard, and
yes.
I probably will grow some more this year. I used to grow it all the time. I love the rainbow Swiss chard. It makes great in salads and stuff.
There's this little person on there.
A little
person.
A little person?
Yes, his name is Christopher. I don't know if I know him or not.
He put up a blue bird.
He says we look like lovebirds. Oh. You know, yeah.
Our little adopted son.
He's my new adopted son, I guess. I mean, it looks like he's going to become part of the family.
We have no traffic in the background. I don't know what you're hearing.
Oh yeah, there's no traffic. I mean, our own kids have already started to call him brother. So.
Yeah, my daughter calls him little brother.
Little brother, yeah.
Yeah, because she has a younger brother and she has a baby brother, and Chris is the little brother. How is the darling old man that lives on the property? Doing okay.
Doing okay. He's doing all right. Hanging in there.
Let's see. When do you recommend planting blueberry bushes in
Summerall, Mississippi? I would do it now. I would do it now. I would not wait.
Tim. He said YouTube didn't notify him either.
Oh. He said he's ready for work. Just happened to catch us. Yeah, we just decided, Tim, to just, I don't know. You know, we had to check out a new internet system. We're up in the office, and we decided to say, hey, how's this internet system going to handle a live stream? Because we've actually not done it, and we wanted to know. Now, Ms. Wanda's done some Zoom meetings and stuff like that up here, but we've never really done that.
All right, Sandra Johnston wants to know, how do you make carrot juice? Well, you take your carrots, you really need a good juicer.
Yeah, you need a good champion juicer or something like that.
There's Vitamix. There's several juicers out there, and there's probably some newer ones. I don't know the new ones. I just know the older ones. You have to have a juicer to make carrot juice, and it takes the pulp and it mashes all the juice out, and the pulp is almost like powdered dry. You can still use the pulp in casseroles and dishes, and you can do stuff with the pulp, but it has no... It takes the nutritional value by taking the juice out. But you have to have a good juicer.
Yes. Beverly said she was 60 when she moved from the town to the country, and the property had been unattended for years. It took years to get it land cleared and in shape. Starting over at 60, not doing it again. That's always a challenge, though. You know, we always have to keep that in mind. It's a challenge. If God tells me to do something, I'm going to do it. Yeah.
Valerie says it works great. It's a clear live stream. So,
Good.
So we haven't been cutting off
Yeah,
and buffering.
Eagle Lover says it's much clearer than Saturday nights.
Okay.
So.
And too, on Saturday nights now, a lot of people are on the internet, and that makes a big difference sometimes when you're out in the country.
Well, Melinda says it's kind of echoey, and that's probably because of the office here that we're in. It's not really big. It's not a lot in here to buffer the noise to keep it.
I'm gonna have to get some pillows and blankets and throw around. Yeah, I probably have to do something to buffer the noise.
Yeah. New York Redneck says, what kind of blueberries should I plant in the Asheville area? My ex, Mrs. and boy live there now, and they love blueberries. We only got the small bushes up here. You know, I don't know what grows best in Asheville. So it'd be kind of hard for me to say to anybody planting anything in Asheville right now if it's Asheville, North Carolina, because that place is about to be redone. Let's just put it that way. I ain't gonna go into details, but they fixing to be some stuff happening in Asheville.
And you need to find out what most people grow there.
Yeah, I would ask around to the feed stores and stuff like that if there's anything left there that does any of that.
We're not using Starlink today.
No.
Now, usually on Saturday nights we are using Starlink.
Yeah, this is not Starlink. This is a very
Starlink.
super high speed internet we have in the office.
So just trying to see how well it works for things.
Nikki said the visual is good, the volume's great. So the Wi-Fi in the office here is working really good, Dan.
Well, that makes us feel better. So we may start trying to do this. We just wanted to try it and see. I got to go fix us some supper.
Yeah, we got to go fix supper. We ain't ate yet, and we've been busting it all day long.
I'm making some cornbread, of course, and I'm going to make me a biscuit. I have found a recipe that I've been looking for, a biscuit recipe that works for me, that I don't have to sit and do a whole lot of work to. And it's not easy to find, because I just want to make 1 or 2 biscuits along. And so Rose Red, I trust her. She tests her things, and she was making biscuits this week, and the way she was doing them, she was making them and putting them in the freezer. She wasn't making the biscuit, she was making the flour, and she was cutting her butter in. That's why she was storing it in the freezer. And I got to thinking, I have powdered butter from My Patriot Supply, and any of you that are looking for anything long-term storage, check out My Patriot Supply. So I had the powdered butter, and I have powdered buttermilk that I got this past time from Azure Standard. So I went in and I mixed up my flour, my salt, my baking powder, and then I added the powdered butter and the buttermilk, and I mixed that, and it's all powdered, and I put it in jars, and I left out enough that I made 2 biscuits, and I give Chris part of one, and I ate them. They were delicious. That is the best thing. All you gotta do is add water. It's shelf stable and water. It was awesome.
Now somebody said Billy's on live right now talking about North Carolina and the lithium issue up there. Yeah, that's something I don't go into because I don't want my channel to get in trouble. But lithium is a big issue in Carolinas right now. There's a huge deposit up there. I got to stop right there on purpose.
Okay.
Raw Food Rider says, do you think retiring early as possible is still the way to go? Thank you. Yes, I recommend anybody who can afford to retire early to go ahead and do that, because I've known too many people in my life that waited till they were 65 to retire, and retired and died 2 years later. You know, I mean, and never got to do anything they wanted to do. And then I know a lot of people who retired at 65, and when they got ready to do stuff, their body was so broken down that they could not do anything. You know, they didn't have any joy in anything. So I recommend, if you can financially retire earlier in life, I retired at 50, and I don't regret it at all. I mean, I'm in my mid-60s now. Since I was been 50 years old, I've been doing whatever I want to do. I mean, I had 3 companies that I owned. I shut those companies down, and you know, gave employees leave pay and closed the doors on everything. And I've walked away, and I do not I do not regret
have
it.
to work if we could have, and it's not that we've had.
It's not that we don't want to work. It's just
that we don't want to work for other people in situations. Because I was working in an office and it gotten really rough. We love what we're doing.
Yeah. Well, it's not work. If you love what you're doing, it's really not work.
All right, James. The address is deepsouthhomestead@gmail.com. And several of them said they saw rose reds. Well, just think about adding the powdered butter and the powdered buttermilk and storing it on the shelf, and then
Z-Fox says, do you have nasturtium seeds?
Yes.
It's going to be in one of them packs right there.
That's one of these. I don't know which one, but I do know there was some. I remember that.
Because
what was the name?
Just it's stopped right there on it. We ain't gonna go nowhere. I'll have to find it again. It's ZE and then FOX. I know we had them because I saw them.
Yeah, we do.
There they are, right there.
Yeah, they do have those, and they probably have them. Where are we at? I couldn't say it. Nasturtium, whatever.
Yeah. Are you keeping those, or do you want?
I can put those.
Okay, Z Fox, go ahead and send us your information to deepsouthhomestead@gmail.com, and we'll send you that pack of nasturtium seeds there, because we don't use them.
I'm going to plant a few of these seeds, but we probably will have some more Saturday night on the live stream there. So, and y'all do check out Survival Garden Seeds for that.
Somebody said, what? It's not even Saturday? No, we'll wait till Saturday. We ain't had a bath, we ain't eat, we ain't done nothing. So we just up here checking out this live streaming here just to see how it goes.
Right. Peppery taste and the pest deterrent. Yeah. I am struggling with a certain addiction, kind of embarrassing, and any input on how to quit. Any addiction, just how to quit an addiction.
Anytime I was a counselor for a while. Anytime you go to quit an addiction, the easiest way to quit an addiction is to replace it with something that's more enjoyable than what the addiction is. That's moral. Let me say that. Not anything immoral or anything like that. Like me, for instance, if I was going to quit some sort of addiction, I love to fish, I love to hunt, I love to garden, I love doing those type things. And for me, I would lose myself in what I love doing and take your mind off of it, because most addictions happen when people sit and they have time on their hands. They have time to think about something. They have, and I'm gonna tell you, I went through some. I dealt with depression for about 6 to 7 years of my life, massive depression, and it was very hard for me to get beyond that. But I've never, and people call anything can be an addiction. Okay, I was addicted to tea. I was addicted to coffee and stuff like that. And when I tell you, when I got off of it, I would sit and just tremble and shake. My whole body would sit and shake because
headaches.
The headaches, not being able to sleep at night. I went like a week and a half. I didn't hardly sleep at all when I quit coffee and tea. And you don't think that stuff affects you until you actually try to go through it. And I would have to just lose myself in my work. I would have to lose myself in some of my, like fishing. I would go fishing and just be sitting there just trembling, because of the caffeine loss in my body and stuff like that.
It also helps to have another person.
Yes.
That you can talk to that will not condemn or.
No, don't ever.
You need somebody that you can say, okay, I'm wanting to slip. I'm wanting to slip. And they go, no, come on, let's do something.
Come on, let's go do something.
They'll help you stay out of it. Another person is always beneficial because don't hold it in. Confide in somebody that you know that will grab you and say, let's go. Don't do it, let's go.
Yeah.
All right, so what kind of soil is the best? What? the best soil temperature to get sweet potato slips to grow from the down under. I'm assuming Ben is in
Australia. The temperature of the soil has to be 70 degrees in order to get. Let me say maybe 65 to 70 degrees is going to be your best soil temperature to get sweet potato slips up out of the ground, because they will sit for a while.
Yeah. Okay, now what else?
Marjorie Beckwith says, my addiction is sweets at night.
Yeah. Well, we all have something that is hard to break. And some of them are very, extremely hard.
Jean Blair said, I used to be addicted to coffee too. I haven't had any for 10 years now.
Ben hasn't had any for
it's been longer.
12 or
it's probably
13?
been 13, maybe
Well,
4.
he sipped on, when we were sampling coffees, he did sip on
I did
some.
sip on some when we were sampling for the coffee out at
Silver Run Coffee Crafters.
Yeah.
And we're probably going to give some coffee away this week, Saturday night too.
Yeah.
So join us for the Silver Run Coffee Crafters on Facebook, and they have silverruncoffee.com. We are going to be smoking some coffee to see if we can get our flavor that we want, but we've been busy. We've been trying to get Deep South cleaned out enough that we can start some renovations that we've been putting off, and so that's going to take a lot of our time. Videos will be as we can get away from things. This week's been a little tough, and last week was too, but I had last week's scheduled. This week I didn't have any videos done.
Right. Okay, guys, we got to get off of here. We got to go get something to eat and get cleaned up tonight. We thought we would just jump on for a little while tonight
and test
this new internet system here in the office to see how it would actually work. And we do know now we're going to have to bring in something to help with the echo, because the walls, it's a new office, and the walls are just walls. There's nothing in here.
Some blankets and
things. We're going to have to do something.
Some pillows and different things to not bounce off.
Yeah. So thank y'all for letting us know about that. And we will probably see y'all again Saturday night.
Well, we'll have a video in the morning.
Yeah.
And probably one, well, tomorrow's Friday. We'll
Friday,
probably have one Saturday, and then we'll see you at Deepsouth Homestead Saturday night.
Now, we may be back in the office here again.
Yeah, I think we might.
I think we might come back up here and
test it on a Saturday night and see.
Try, yeah, when the internet waves are a lot more busy than they are tonight.
All right, they're saying it did really well for most everybody. Didn't have any problems with any buffering, anything like that. So that, you know, and two, I've noticed like my glasses don't have all the.
They don't have all that reflection on.
The reflections that they've been having. So.
Okay, so this might be the answer that we've been looking for.
Because I mean, I've always had my glasses would be spotted and stuff, and it was so aggravating. But now I can see it's doing a little better.
Okay, everybody
the light
says,
is up here instead of halfway behind.
Instead of being right smack over our head right here, you know, and it's not in front of our eyes where it's blinding us, so that's actually good.
Okay.
And we're at the desk, which also
helps us have
a place here to the computer to set, the cameras all to set, and all that. So that really works good too. So okay, you know what I think I'm gonna do tonight? I think we're gonna have a little prayer and see if we can maybe start the day off. Well, I look like I've been running through a knothole backwards, don't I?
Poor thing.
Oh, it's been a long, hot day today. But anyway, let's just close with a word of prayer here. Father, we're so thankful tonight that we've been able to spend a little time with some friends here, and maybe be a blessing to them, because they sure are a blessing to us. And thank you for allowing the stream to go well tonight here. And I know that many of them here probably have some issues and some physical issues, and I'm pretty sure there's some financial issues here, because there's a lot of them said they're starting over their homesteads in their mid-60s, and I know when you do that, there's always some strain on the financial system there. And plus health issues, you know. trying to get a homestead up, get everything in order, and get infrastructure in and things of that nature. I pray for everybody who's actually starting over, and I also pray for those that live in areas that's fixing to be hard and heavy impacted by all the ice and snow that's going to be coming in, for the all the water coming in on the west coast over there, the atmospheric river that we've talked about for the last year or so now, how that's going to be impacting the western seashores and the western states, and Father, just you know, help us out here. We've got some people that's going to be highly impacted with some pretty serious cold weather here in the next week or two, and all of us down south are probably going to be dealing with some above average heat. So help us to make wise decisions. Use a lot of good discernment about when to plant, what to plant, and how to plant, Father. And we'll be careful to give you the honor, the praise, and the glory. We ask these things in Christ's name. Amen. All right.
Thank you guys for stopping by. We'll see y'all in a video tomorrow and Saturday night on Deep South Homestead.